Hello, folks. Happy Weird Wednesday. My name is Haunted. Today, we're going to be working on the Archivist, the creepy little spider librarian dude with no mouth. Because. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Um, yeah, so let's get to it. We're going to start with, I think, I'm kind of toying with this here. I'm not sure if I want to go with this cold flesh, which you can kind of see there. It's got kind of a purple tinge to it, or pale blue. Either way, I'm going to go with a purple wash after. Um, blah, 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 indeed. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to start with. So let's get to it. Get some brushes. Get it off. I think we are going to go with a pale blue. I have done this kind of before. Usually I mix a little medium and some flow aid into the purple wash, and it makes it a bit like a contrast medium. Works really well. But for this one, it's so small, I think we can get away with just doing the wash. So that's what we're going to do for right now. He does have those kind of glowy blue eyes too, so we'll have to get that taken care of as well. Probably a good thing, seeing as how he doesn't have a mouth, so no detail down there, but we can do some blue glowy eyes. My only concern about doing this particular color is that it's very close to what I use for my white. Well, it is what I use for my white base, and he does have a white collar. But it's just barely seen past his cravat. So what I'll probably do is come in and just edge a little white in there, and it'll be fine. Hey, Total, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Get his little fingers here. I was telling Weird Hobbies, I was like, oh, I thought it broke one of his fingers, but he's got it curled back, folded into his palm in this really, well, at least for me, unnatural way. I can't get my finger to fold like that. I don't know if anybody else can without curling their other three fingers, but yeah, it's a very unusual position. Kind of adds to the creepy factor, I think. Just using taxpayers' money to see some hobby. Fantastic. This is one time I think that's a-okay. Now, if you were a dot worker, I'd probably be on you about it, but you're watching my stream, so it's cool. All right. I think we might do the cover of the book. I know the book is like a dark blue on the artwork. I think we're gonna do the cover like a forest green or a red. While blue is a common book binding for steampunk times, red and greens were too, and I think it will stand out a little bit better against the other colors that we're using. So we're gonna go with something a little different than the artwork on that. He's also very monochromatic in it, other than like the blue to his eyes. He's basically in black and white. Like he has a white vest and a black tie and a black jacket and black pants and black boots, and it's just like, that's a lot of black. So, hey, Llama, welcome in. All right. So yeah, that's what we're going to do with him. We'll paint a different color binding on that book, make it look a little better, and we probably will do a gray on this vest, and then gray slacks, black jacket, black boots to break it up a little bit. Okay. Now, gonna get us a little bit of our wash. And I do have some contrast medium somewhere. There is, yes. It took me a second. I wasn't sure it was it, but it was. Hello, Dragon Legion. How are you doing? Long time no see. Now we got some of that contrast medium mixed in. I don't think the gray was quite finished drying yet. Getting a little more blending there than I was expecting. That's okay. Just means less work later. You notice I'm kind of pulling up toward the top and back toward the hairline with the wash or contrast or whatever the hell we're calling it. Been busy with painting and stuff and playing games, so that's cool. I understand. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Probably going to let this dry just a wee little bit and hit it again. Hit it again, Sam. Get a little more intensity on it. Or I could just pull some straight wash and work that way. I think that's what I'll probably do. Rather than waiting for it to dry, we're going to take the cheap way out. Okay. Same here. I'll drop a little bit of that wash directly into these ridge lines and stuff in his hands. Bring them out a little bit. Here at the neck. Because remember, we want to make sure that the white will stand out when we get to it. And pull underneath the nose and then up here in the eyes and along the hairline. Let's see here. The chat is full of strange things. Yeah. Have a Warhammer game later today and have some fun with the Tech Doom Soccer. It's very nice. You are just all over the place on games. Like the melting pot gamer. I have pretty much cut back everything except for Malifaux, and I still haven't gotten any Malifaux games in lately. But I have decided that it was in my interest to get rid of everything else, so I don't have any distractions. So when it does come time for gaming, there's only Malifaux. Like there's only Zool. There's only Malifaux. I won't have any choice but to play it. But I did I don't know, fall off the wagon. Is that the proper terminology when you pick up something that you thought you'd given up? I got back into RC racing. I haven't raced since I think it was 97, 99, somewhere around there, when the Team Losi Double X buggy was new. So it's been a while. And in that time, technology has changed so much in RC. I literally cannot use anything I own. Granted, there isn't much, but I can't use anything I own on the new cars. So that's required buying all new everything. Gone are crystals and radios. They use frequency hopping, kind of like garage door openers. So new radio. I mean, I suppose I could probably use the old radio, but all my crystals are so old and beat up, they probably would not be good for range anyways, and might get stepped on by the new radios because they're 2.4 gigahertz now. Batteries have changed. Everything's LiPo or Li-Fi, lithium ferrite or something like that, or lithium polymer. I'm not sure what LiPo stands for, but anyways, so all the batteries have changed. Chargers have therefore changed. It's nuts. And the funny thing is, back when I was in the RC the first time, most cars or most cheaper cars came with gear differentials. So you had a set of planetary gears, like 4 of them, and then 2 plates that were geared, and then your outdrive shafts. And it worked. It gave you differential action, made your one tire spin faster than the other in turn so that you could turn more readily. But the upgrade was always a ball differential. Now ball differentials are like out the window. Everything uses gear differentials again. It's so weird. What comes around goes around. Aluminum chassis were real big, and then everybody started getting into carbon fiber. Now aluminum chassis are big again. It's insane. And I was kind of hit by like sticker shock when I started looking at prices. I was like, oh wow, it's going to be like so much money for this, because these batteries, they're $130 or more each, and the cars themselves are $700 each, and I was like, whew, it's getting kind of pricey, spendy. And then I looked at the fact, well, when I raced back then, I had probably $2,500 just in batteries to run a season, because you never bring the same battery more than once in a race weekend. So you had to have multiple batteries. And nowadays you can get away with basically one battery for all your heats and one for your main, and that's it. So 2 batteries and you're done. So they might cost a little bit more, but they're actually cheaper in the long run, which is kind of cool. So once I kind of figured that out, oh, okay, well, don't have to have as many. So that's cool. So it actually is, when you factor in inflation, actually a little bit cheaper now to get into it. Melted Puck Gamer. Yeah. For Infinity, I'm definitely thinking Eugene or Anna Malifaux, thinking Lucius or someone from Resurrections, because zombies. Rezzers, I'm just saying. Although, Lucius is a neat master, both in terms of look and play style. So if you want to paint a lot of intricate, tiny details on miniatures like this, Lucius is your man, because all them lawyers, they got all the brocade and gold and stuff like that on them. The lawyers can be fun to paint. Yeah. So getting the color cut in there real quick. Get a little definition here at that thumb. And down here, these just got that on the book there, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean, either of those are good choices. Resurrections, they're a lot of fun, and they're the one I actually own the most of. I only lack Von Stuck to have the entire Reser faction, which is funny because I started out with Neverborn and I ended up mostly with Resers. While we wait for that to dry, let's get some black going. Now, the brown shoe and black spat thing is an experiment. We may change away from that, but for right now, we're going to try it and see how it works. Again, just trying to break up the blackness a little bit on here. Come in and catch those buttons and such. Like I said, you don't see his feet in the artwork anyway, so creative liberties, right? I mean, I suppose I could make them, if I weren't doing his pants. You know what? We could. I didn't even think about it when I was deciding to paint these black. We could paint the pants black, gray vest, black pants, white spats, black shoes. That would work. Let's do that. I'm sorry. We're going to change. I was trying to break things up a little bit, but I think I've decided to change it that way. Hey, Dead Aussie Gamer, how are you doing? Welcome in. Everything you do is creative liberty. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's easy to do when you don't have any artwork, right? Or you don't have but just the upper body artwork. It was one of those times having a Slow Tiger in here saying, well, I got to have some orange in there. And so you'd be looking for placement to put orange. Sometimes having that extra guidance is good. Other times it can be kind of challenging having to have a set scheme. But I always appreciate having that. I want this color and this color. Now, if it doesn't work out, if they don't look good together, I understand you do it your way. But or I trust your instincts kind of thing. But sometimes it's nice to have that guide there. He does that whenever I do a commission for him. Okay, so we got the shoes cut back in black now. Hey, and speaking of the devil, no problem. Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it, Tiger. Have a good day at work. Now, I do have a question. Do we want to do gray highlights on this black? Like dark charcoal grays. Or do we want to do the Incubi Darkness highlights like we did on the young boys' school clothes, school uniform? We can do either, of course, but yeah. Well, I wouldn't call Tiger the devil, but that's how the saying goes. Well, I don't think we've got any opinions on the black, so I'm going to probably do just the standard old dark charcoal grays then. Since no one jumped out and said Incubi Darkness or Violet or something like that, so that's what we'll do. I try to give y'all a chance, get y'all to participate, but y'all got to work with me. All right. Just about got those pants cut in. Bless you, cat. And while we got some of that pale blue on our palette, let's go ahead and cut those. I don't want to go all the way up because it'd probably blend with the black right now because they're both kind of wet. So I'm going to just bring it down this way. Now, usually spats do not go over pants legs, but this dude, he might just be, like extra. And that's his thing. I like my spats to go over my pants. He doesn't have a mouth. He has to make up for things somehow, right? Sheza, welcome in. How are you doing? Sheza, you know anything about RC racing or RC cars in general? I was telling the room earlier, I've gotten back into RC racing after 23-ish years. And man, was it a shock. Hating the pollen outside. Yeah, the pollen is pretty rough, no doubt. Oh yeah, yeah. They sell mostly like bashers and a lot of rock crawlers. Rock crawling is huge in Georgia. Go figure. Um, and you can sink some serious money and time into getting one of those set up. I mean, they've got these suspensions that are so articulated and drive trains that are basically like scaled down, uh, full size crawlers. They're not RC cars. They're scaled RC or scaled crawlers. Um, these axles that look like they came out of the back of dump trucks and stuff like that. Crazy. I have never heard anyone describe a dogwood tree smelling like dead fish before. Got your butt over to Henry's Louisiana Grill out in Wayne. It's incredible. Really? And see, my cat was excited. Really? I haven't tried any new restaurants. Like the closest thing I've had to new has been Umaido's, and I've eaten it several times, so it's not technically new anymore. Good ramen. Absolutely great ramen. I'm going to give this a second coat, especially where the black is overlapping. Yeah, let's not do the NSFW description. I think we know what you're talking about, though. Only have 3 factions interested in Eugene Nomad's combined army. I mean, you like the Empire, right? I would suggest going with combined army because they are, quote, the bad guys in Infinity if there is one. because they follow the evil AI named L. So that's who I'd go with, and they're very well, depending on the sectorial you choose. The word just went right out my mouth. Um, if you play vanilla or Onyx Contact Force, it's a much more brute force kind of in your face and blasting you down with lots of AoE template chain pistol and chain rifle fire. They're just disgusting. And that's like the Morats or the Onyx combined. Then you have like Shazvasti, which is more, it's more sneaky and stealthy, and I look like your friend, so you can't attack me. But when I do attack you, I'm going to be at like all these massive bonuses, and it's going to kill you in one shot because I have this ability to mimic your look. So they're kind of tricksy ones. But yeah, overall, I'd say probably you need to go with combined army. That's just my thinking. It's downtown. Hadn't had Gator in so long, and wow. Now Gator, I've heard is something like it's one way or the other. Like if it's really good, it's great, it's amazing. But otherwise, it gets kind of like this kind of dry, spongy thing where it just kind of like keeps expanding in your mouth the more you chew it, and it just depends on like the way it's cooked or something. Angry Skater is good. Cool. Well, if I ever get down there, I may have to try that one out. Super busy and excited. Yeah, I bet. Con season is upon y'all. Be like a 3-alarm house fire there for the next few months. Dragon called you strange? Well, I mean, do you really want to be normal? All right, so we got that black cut in. Let's hit a few spots that need some reinforcing right there. Here around this best area. Yeah. I don't know why I got too overly concerned about this because this will be black as well, but there's a pretty big expanse and pretty smooth. So we're gonna mix some water in, make sure we don't get any brush strokes in here, or help tone down the brush strokes. Well, I think that's I mean, you're Dragon Legion. Does that mean you're weird too? I mean, we're going by names and all. I tell everybody I'm named Haunted. All right, so we're just going to cut some of this black in. Like I said, it's pretty thin, so we'll probably have to come back in and hit it with another coat later. Figure we just needed to get some of this cut in to add some shape to it, because right now it's kind of all starting to look samey with that gray and that blue gray and that purple gray on there, right? Now, I don't need to get too crazy here because I'm going to have to paint that vest, but just wanted to get that line cut in a little bit. Indeed. Yeah. Kind of like down the rabbit hole. We're all a little mad here, but we're all a little weird instead. Some of us are mad, but most of us are just weird. He does have a little bit of an edge of his sleeve sticking out, so we'll have to catch that once we get done with the skin and stuff. Nope, 100% A-OK normal. And if you believe that, I have a very large bridge to sell you in London. Da, 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 da. Okay, so just continuing to work this around. Like I said, we're putting a little bit of extra moisture in this black because I'm not wanting to get any brush strokes in here. You can tell that back is nice and smooth. Probably would have been smoother had I used filtered water or distilled water instead of tap. That is something to consider when you're doing blends, especially black blends, to make sure that you're using filtered or distilled water. The inherent minerals that are in tap water and chemicals that are in tap water will tint and distort and really screw up a black blend if you're using that water. You get the best blend in the world, and then you'll look and there'll be like this weird wavy patch in there where the minerals in the water dried funky. So always use distilled water if you can. I was lazy today. I had not gone out to the store to get any. We miss his butt up there. Yeah, we did. That right there. On his bootay, we missed it. I know he's supposed to be like a librarian or something like that, but I'm getting this vibe of Amish for some reason. I guess it's the white spats for some reason. Makes me think of the like the stockings, the white stockings they wore with the knee-high pants. It's more like the Protestants, I guess, when they first came over. It's more their style, but I don't know. Well, I thought Amish for a second. All right, let's get some red in here real quick on that little bit of tide he has. I actually probably could have used that old red, but we're going to use new red. That'd be a nice little pop of color for him, I think. Get up in here without getting all over everything. So we're going to do his, bring that collar back around a little bit. I think that gives a nice pop. Oops. On his finger there. His finger held me up. Now, I am kind of breaking my rules here. Usually when I have multiple layers of something, i.e. clothing, I work from the inside out. So I start with the skin, and then I work to their underclothes, what they're wearing, and then to the next layer of clothing, to the next layer of clothing. It just makes it easier to make corrections and work the colors a little bit if you work from the inside out. I did not do that with him. I should have done his vest. But we only cut the black in, so I figure we can still do the vest and make corrections if necessary. But I wanted to have some separation going on here so people knew he was going to be, could see the shapes in the geometry of the model, I guess. Need to get myself one of those painting handles once I get the ship later, to the shop. Which painting handles are you talking? Oh, you're talking about this? Yeah, they're pretty handy. I put off buying one of these for so long, and to the point where they were sold out everywhere. And I'd done something to my hand. I really didn't have any grip going on, and I needed it to help, with the miniature. Finally was able to track one down. But yeah, they were pretty scarce, especially in 2020. Everything was scarce, but yeah, I managed to snag one finally. And I don't give GW a lot of props most of the time, but this is one piece of equipment I would probably replace in a heartbeat if it got lost. Now, granted, I have 3D printers now, I could probably design and print my own very easily, but for the $10 that you spend for it, it's just not worth it. Now, this one, I will say I'm a little disappointed in it because it actually came broken. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little crack in here. And see, because of that crack, the spring is distorted. So it does not hold the bases as tightly as I would like. So I usually run a rubber band around this to keep it clamped shut tight. But for this lighter model, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so it's a good piece of equipment. Now I know he's depicted as black haired, but I think we're gonna do the base in black, but I think we're gonna give him some brown highlights. Just to break up that black thing a bit, you know? I did this with Asami. It was the first time doing Asian hair with something other than blue highlights. I did hers with black, and then I did brown highlights, and it looked really good. Because some Asians have that kind of blue black kind of highlight, and some have closer to brown highlights. And I thought it was a good way to kind of give a little mix to miniatures to separate some, especially when you got a bunch that all have the same hair color, essentially. Apparently, the neighbors are getting their lawn service today. Their lawnmower is loud. Surprised y'all can't hear it over the mic. Wow, that was hard to get in there. It was like a shelf I had to kind of stab the paint into. I don't know why I'm getting kind of a Jigsaw vibe from this dude. Not the man, but the doll Jigsaw. Need to paint some little red circles on his cheek or something, or red spirals on his cheek. Hey, Spill Paint Pot, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. We're having a pretty good afternoon here. We were able to stay in today, so we have not had to face the pollen today, which is really nice. Because apparently it's brutal today. I still find it hard to paint right now with my thumb. It's healed up a lot, but it's still pretty painful to put pressure on. And I put pressure on my thumb a lot. You know, it holds my other hand up when I'm painting. And it's still not very comfortable yet. Good thing is, I don't think I'm actually going to lose the nail. Or if I do, it's just going to be like pushed out by the other one. I don't think I lost the nail bed. Coloring some acrylic tokens and getting ready for a game of Malifaux. Nice! Should be a pretty good matchup, actually. Make sure there's, well, you don't want a lot of cover because you're running Perdita, but some things that will slow them down. Maybe some severe terrain to slow the Vix down a little bit. Of course, they have some shooting too, but they're mostly get up in your face. Hey, Stonewall, long time. I'm your fave, huh? Cool. I like that. How are you doing? Come on, baby. One more drop. Give me one more drop. One drop. Come on. There we go. I am pretty well out of Evil Sons. That was it. Has been a while. Peep me in the Discord, but don't comment. I see. No problem. Well, it's good to see you. Yeah, like I said, it has been a while. Okay, just a couple of dots there like that. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. I actually, speaking of 3D printing stuff, I don't know if y'all will be able to see these or not, but I got, shoot. I got made some bits up. Got some more hoodoo rocks made up. So those are like those, rocks that you find out in the desert and the Badlands and stuff. There's some more of them. And I got me some barrel cacti. These particular ones are blooming ones, so they have the flowers on them. And then I got me some bunny ear cacti that are flowering. Do I have any regular ones? Yeah, here's a regular bunny ear, no flowers. And I have a multi. Yeah, there we go. And a multi-barrel that has no flowers. So I got these made up to do my redo my Perdita bases. Actually, all the ones that are going to be desert themed will have those. So like my Perdita crew, my Lady Justice crew, the bandit keyword, so Parker. I think right now those are the only ones I have on like desert themed bases. Thinking, kind of like Wild West theme. So those are the ones that got that. They are from a place called Epic Basing. I think it's .com. And they have some really great designs. They have full-size ones too, like full-size cacti. Hang on one sec. She's dusty, so I apologize. But here's Pearl Musgrove with a full-size cacti. Wow. she's really dusty. But I think it really works. And since she's up on 1 foot, also has one of those small hoodoo rocks, see? But because she's on that 1 foot standing up, I can pick her up by the cactus and move her and don't have to worry about stamping her off the base. And I mean, the cactus took nothing, like literally painted it Caliban, and then a dry brush of warpstone green and a dry brush of moot green, and it was finished. I mean, sure, you can get in there and paint individual dots if you want to, but you don't need to do that. All right, what do we need to do here? Let's go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and catch those buttons here on screen. Let me move up just a wee bit. That tip curl's really starting to become a problem on this brush. I mean, it's a synthetic. It's supposed to get it eventually. It's held up pretty well. Let me see. I'm going to get one of my new brushes here. Let's see if we can get those buttons a little bit better. And one right there. Okay, I think that'll work. Sorry about that. There's a little bit of breath holding going on. Getting those little buttons done. Now we're going to come in with a little bit of our pale blue. And do some edging here. Oop. Sorry. And we're just going to outline the edge of this vest. We're not getting crazy with the detail on it. That's about all we're going to do. Okay. Now let's come in here and start working on the flesh a little bit. This might be a little too dark. I think what I'll do is I'll mix it with some of the pale blue and see how that works. This is was cold flesh. Yeah, cold flesh from Nocturna. Oh no, I'm getting low on pale blue too. My world's going to end. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. That pale blue and the cold flesh together. They give me a little bit of work before going straight to pale blue, or a little bit to work with before going straight to pale blue. The words are not always on the tips of my tongue. Mm-hmm. See how it looks. Yeah, I think that might work. We still need to finish the next kids from the first stream this month. Did not finish those up. They're still lacking on those. But we wanted to get doing something different. They're a lot of fun though. The little next kids, they're tiny. They're hard to paint because they're so small. Or I don't know, hard to paint well. I think you can paint them easy, but hard to paint well. Not saying it can't be done, because old On Hill, he can do it. They're kind of beyond me almost. I had to finally break down and get some new glasses. My specs were just not cutting it anymore. Okay. Now we'll cut some pale blue and just unlit the knuckles. Okay. Yeah, a little bit right here on this thumb. Yeah. Yeah. I do want to get a little bit of that kind of dead flesh back here and kind of paint the thumb pad a little bit. And right in here a little bit. There we go. There we go. I like that. That's pretty good. Pretty good. What are you doing, cat? You're making noise. Disturbing me. We'll come in here with a little bit of that first color we just used. We'll lighten up the bridge and the nose, nostril area. eyebrows. Kind of like the middle of the forehead there. On the chin, or what I guess would be the chin if he had a chin. Yeah, he's always into something, it seems like, especially when I'm painting. It's like, oh, time to play now. Because you need to concentrate, which means you can't be chasing me. Away we go. Okay, let's get go back to our pale white. Gonna have to get some water in that. It is starting to thicken up. Just a little bit on the tip of the nose this time. Eyebrow highlight just a wee little bit. Cheeks a touch. That chin area. Okay. Now, stay hand mode. Probably have to get out the big glasses. I do like these ones because I can actually look up here, read the chat, or look over there and see the wall, or see the miniature like this. And then if I need to see up close, just put it underneath and look down. So I do like these glasses in that respect, but they do distort it a lot. So I only bring them out when I'm trying to do a very tiny, like laser focused detail usually. Okay, got the eyes cut in. Get a little bit of contrast medium here. We put some blue down. I'm going to grab a little contrast. I'm going to try and thin it down a wee bit. Or a wee lot. Okay, this is a nice opaque flat blue, but with a contrast medium in there. You see now it's more like a glaze. Now we're going to pull in from the eyes. Not particularly digging that, so we're going to come back in here and mix a little bit of the blue in with the flesh tone. And a little bit more of that kind of light whitish blue, pale blue. Yeah, kind of a Alice Cooper look going on. We didn't want that. Okay, I think that works now. It's not exactly, on the artwork, it kind of shows the glow going streaming up across his eyebrows, but it doesn't really, I can't pull it off. So we backed it back to just in the eye socket itself to glow. Okay, let's come in here and get these cuffs here, preferably without screwing anything up. How do I get that little part right there? This is just going to have to be good enough. Okay. Huh. Wow, I completely missed the black over there. You can see up under his sleeve where it starts to wrap back around from underneath the book. Totally missed that. One of those things. Probably wouldn't see it unless you just happen to turn it just right, but we need to cover that up. Without getting on his vest or anything else detrimental. There we go. Okay. Now, I think we still managed to keep most of the shading there at the cuffs, so we're going to leave those. No more purple wash needed there. If I really want to, I can come back in and throw just a wee bit up here on the underside to enhance it a little bit more. I really don't think it needs much more. Okay. Get some of those highlights in here on the hair. So I'm kind of like edging it, kind of put my brush on the side. Oops, we got a major white spot popping through there. So is anybody painting anything right now, or are you just working, or what's going on, folks? Working. All right. I hear you. Well, appreciate the work and lurk. We always like those. So I was thinking about something the other day. I am not a huge sports ball person, never have been, but I was thinking about if football were a thing in Malifaux, what would the teams be like? What would be their names and their mascots and stuff like that? And would it be like all out, like fighting in the streets is, magic and stuff going everywhere, or would there be rules against that? I don't know. Those weird things that popped in my head at 3 a.m. They'd play soccer. Okay, so English football, not American football. All right, I could see that. I could see that. Where's my other color here? Do we want to go Warm Fang, or do we want to go? Where is it? Yeah, there, Doom Bull. I think we're gonna do Doom Bull. Oh, we might be doing the other one. I can't get this one to come out. There we go. So we'll catch the tips of some of these hairs here. And no one would play with the Nephilim. Yeah, I can see that would probably be a bad idea. Nephilim would remind me a little too much of like what was that game the Aztecs play? Was it Ha Ali or something like that? And the losers were decapitated. That'd be the Nephilim. Bayou teams, yes, yes, my lovely bayous. One of these days we'll get back to painting some bayous. I have a suspended buying for a bit since I got back into the RC hobby. So I did not buy my fisherman keyword or angler keyword, but it is definitely high on my list. I want to get that done. And also, I really need to finish up my witness keyword. They they're all done, but um, what's his name? Not Desper. Oh God, the magician dude, and my dabblers. That's all that's left out of them. Ledger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The word just, her name just wouldn't come out there. You highly doubt there is much recreational activity Earthside with a gibbering horror. Yeah, probably not. um, but yeah, it was just one of those things. I don't know. Just popped in my head. I was like, where are they? They would play sports. What would the teams be like? What would the rules be like? Would you get a red card for using backup card ability or something? All right. Just about done with the hair. Kind of went where I didn't want it to. That happens sometimes. It's okay. We'll just come in and fill it in. This ridge along the hairline is really making it hard to get the paint where I want it. I don't think I've fought a hairline so much in a while. Okay, I think I got it now. That'd actually be pretty cool. It honestly, I will tell you this: it's difficult to set up games for online viewing because of the angles that you need to get for good visibility. It's not easy to do. To show good coverage and see enough of what's going on. But if they can get it done, it would be great. I'd like to see that. You almost need to set up one of those fly rigs like they have in football. The like the zip line thing that the camera zooms along, so that you can get a good camera angle depending on who's currently active. Yeah, I have too. I'm just saying it's not easy to do. It's not something you get on your first try usually, unless you do a lot of research. Is what I was saying, and have the money to spend on some equipment. Yeah, well, there again, big money. They're like a production company now. It's not just D&D anymore. So we're just cutting in some Caliban green here. most of the time, what I see with people that do tabletop setups, like I said, I've seen a couple good ones. Most of them are just god awful. What I see generally is that things are so far away you can't see what's happening on the table. The other thing is noise, because a lot of times these are being done in convention centers. When there's a tournament going on, and you just get all this ambient garbage noise in there, and that's just horrible. Kills my ears. But yeah, if you can get those things worked out, it'd be awesome. Pre-recording studio, then yesterday. Yeah, that would definitely be the way to do it, honestly. If it's something they want to do, I will definitely go down there and help them with it. Not the gaming portion itself, but the setting it up and figuring out overlays and stuff like that. That's stuff I dig doing. So something that comes about, I'm definitely willing to help. Don't really care. We're going to do in the pages of the book here in a second, or after a second, so it won't matter. But we do want to make sure that edge of the green is covered. Now, fly you. Well, it depends on what the budget is on that one. I don't know if there'll be any flying going on. But yeah, it'd be cool. Okay, so we're going to pull up a little warpstone green, and we're going to mix it with our previous Caliban. All right, and then we'll come in here and highlight that up a whittle bit. All right. Kind of going down the spine there and then pulling toward the top edge here. And a little bit toward the outer edge here. Okay, then we're going to come in with some warp zone myself. We actually have to touch up one of those fingers. Whoopsie. Okay, getting that where I want it. It's a good question. I mean, honestly, the best way I can think of is just getting an ambassador. Somebody that loves the game, wants to play it, knows it really well, and is there all the time preaching it. Preaching the gospel of Malifaux. I had started doing that up here. It was starting to gain traction, and then real life kind of blew up, and I haven't been able to make it in the hobby store in literally months, and all interest is gone again. But I have a feeling that if I can get back up there and start drumming up the business again, that it will pick back up. It's a matter of doing it. And what I did for the most part is I ran a bunch of Henchman hardcore games using the what used to be the 2E starter set, the Asylum versus Black Blood or Half Blood, Half Blood keyword, Angel Eyes and Maurice and the Blood Wretches, and then Grimwell Heartsbane and Orderlies, and those are real fun, tight little games. Oh, they may. I don't know. That's what I think is probably the best, though. I mean, if you can't get assistance from the big boys. Well, that went on a lot thicker than I wanted, but that's okay. Not a big, horrible deal. Not a big, hairy deal at all. Okay. I think I was a little off screen there. Sorry about that, folks. Hard to get this guy in screen while I'm trying to paint the backside of a book on the underside. Yeah, they used to have the henchman program, and that helps. And that's what I mean by an ambassador. Somebody. Okay, they're not a henchman technically anymore, but somebody that acts like the henchman. That can do demo games and answer questions and settle disputes and possibly set up, tourneys and stuff like that. But like I said, what I did is I had 2 sets of those starter set boxes and 2 tables worth of terrain. So I'd come in there and I'd set up 2 tables and I'd have, everything laid out, and usually had one game scheduled. So I'd be playing one person, and then the other table was for people that wandered over. And if they started playing, then I'd generally try and pull a third one over to take my place on the first game and oversee both of them. And that it worked out really well. Like I said, it got a lot of people interested, but because I've not been there, it's just kind of fizzled. If it if we'd had a couple more months to mature as a group, then it would have probably been fine. The leaving wouldn't have been a big deal, but it just happened too soon while everybody was still kind of in the infant stages. Well, that was a big old gob of paint, wasn't it? We don't need that much. This color is forest skin. I knew it had something to do with trees. Forest skin. Nice aged paper look, in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, I just got the 2E set, and at one point had kind of broken up the 3rd edition rules into a starter style rule book that kind of incrementally added the rules, so it wasn't all at once. It was kind of a gradual thing, and had scenarios that brought each rule in. And that was kind of, like I said, that was taken basically from the 2E rule book, starter set rule book, and then a little bit of influence from Infinity's starter boxes. Their 2-player starter boxes do the same thing. They incrementally add rules over playing through 5 scenarios, and it makes it a little bit easier to digest when you do it that way instead of all of them at once. It can kind of overwhelm. I can't wait to get my hands on the. Well, I say I can't wait. I'm holding off on purchases currently, but I'm interested in getting the 10 Thunders and Archivist. They do look really nice. The models look fantastic for it. And I've just kind of started breaking into Archivist, so it's fun. Let's see here. We're going to get a little bit of, where are you? There we go. Took me a second to find it. A little bit of Dark Reaper. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing with the other shades and washes and paints that we've made act like shades. I'll add a little bit of contrast medium to it. Ooh, that was entirely too much. That was like enough for 4 different piles of wash. Oh well. Wow. Okay. Nice. I own Performer, December, Foundry. I think that's it. So I would definitely like to see some more Archivist. So I'm trying to work this Dark Reaper around to give us some details here in the spats. Don't want it pooling too terribly much. But a little pooling wouldn't hurt horribly. Okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll come around to this side now. I don't know if you were here earlier, tuning in earlier, but I started with Neverborn, Dreamer, and Pandora. Well, initially started with Lilith. But anyways, I started with Neverborn, and now have every Reser box except for or every Reser keyboard except for von Stuck. It's the only one I don't have. So it's funny. I went from Neverborn primarily, or what drew me in, to owning most of Resers and very little. I mean, I do have a good bit of Neverborn, but not near as much as I do of the Resers. And I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to get von Stuck. He seems like he's a really, at least in the current incarnation where he's been seen the nerf back twice, looks like he would really, 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 really have to know what you're doing in order to accomplish anything with him. Like, he does not seem very intuitive at all anymore. Now, MSNU, that was one I was thinking about picking up next, because it seems to be like a little more like straightforward. I feel like that would probably be more up my alley. Just get up in their face, bunch up, circle up, and pound face. Wildfire and augmented are good for that. Really? Oh, that's the other one I have. I forgot about augmented. I do have augmented. And I have the title for wildfire. I just haven't gotten around to getting the rest of it, which I should because it's a relatively small keyword. I mean, like super small. It's basically 2 boxes plus Iggy, right? And I've already got Iggy, so. Okay, we got some folds and wrinkles and stuff kind of pulled in now. So it's starting to look a little less bland down here on these spats. I was lazy. I did not get that mold line out there, and it's coming back to bite me in the butt. Oh, dear Lord. I just about got green on there. Whew, that was scary. Yeah, life has a way of doing that, doesn't it? Darn life. Gets in there and messes up our fun time. Okay, get a couple little wrinkles in here. Gonna play more. Yeah, you have to admit he kind of deserved it. He was disgusting. But yeah, it was such a key piece for so many lists. It just kind of knew that one was coming. Okay, now I know we're spending a lot of time here on this white, but white's tough to get, so we're trying to spend some time, make it look decent, and then we'll work on a black. And if we can get done in time, great. If not, we'll finish up the black off screen. But white is one of the tougher portions, so I kind of want to get it where I like it. I do kind of a lot of texturing here. Kind of my gag. I used not to put any texture at all. It's like all solids. But I found, especially with white, texturing really looks good most of the time. You can pull it off quite well. Pull some of that back a little bit. Fuhatsu Thunders. Yeah, there you go. He was a fun model too. I mean, 3 models in one. That was one of those. I actually felt a little handicapped because when I painted him, the owner didn't want me going too crazy, but I wanted to do like mom tattoos on his arm and hearts on his boxers, and I just wanted to kind of go crazy with it. And he kind of reined me in a little bit. Had a match with Fatsu and Asaki where I tabled someone around too. So agree the nerf. Woo! Wow. Hey, Korok, how are you doing? Welcome in. You're just working on the archivist here. Getting it done. I'm surprised you didn't show up earlier with your ears burning because I was talking about Stuck. I hear you, man. Life's just has a way of kicking our teeth in lately. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, what I said was I have all the resers except for Von Schuck's keyword, and I said, and the only reason, and I said I probably will not ever buy them at least until the next edition because he's been nerfed so much. I feel like unless I was an exceptionally good player, he would just be worthless on the table. Now, not to say he can't do great things because you've done great things with him. Okay. Um, but you're an exceptionally good player. I'm not. So that's why I was like, I'm just not even going to bother with him. Oh, damn. Somebody was touched in bad places by Von Stuck. Where's my wife? Here we go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I wouldn't even know where to start with him. Damn. Well, that's handy. I mean, if it really is hard to make a bad Von Stuck list, because that's one thing I struggle with. Maybe I need to look at him again. Or better yet, just watch you play a game or two with him, and that would probably give me what I need. So if you ever feel like playing on Vassal against somebody with Von Stuck, let me know. I want to be a fly on the wall, man. Burp. Cool. Sounds good. All right. So just continuing to work around this white. Now we are actually using pure white now. This is mainly just, oh, I got a really bad hair there. I got tweezers. Go. Okay. Now, back to what we were doing. Just coming in here and kind of getting the high points now on our pale blue. And a few more here on the back side. I like that one, got a little way from me there. Let's run around the side here. Okay. And now we'll come back around here. Come over this heel piece here. And around the bend. See over here. Well, we're really blurry. What's he reading? I don't know. Figuring some sort of magical text. I'll probably do some freehand on those pages at some point, but not today. Or not on camera today. Naruto. God, can you see me trying to freehand anime manga on these pages? Jesus Christ. No. Don't even get any ideas, Korat. That would be kind of funny. That would be. All right. So that's done there. Let's get some, I need a little bit more black, I think. We've about exhausted this last bit. And we dropped it right in a drop of water. So it went all over the place. Oh boy. There's something in Discord. Let me check, make sure not a message from Weird Hobbies. Okay, not a message from Weird Hobbies. Good, good, good. Just wanted to make sure when you see a couple of Discord messages or a couple notifications, I get a little concerned, especially since they've been kind of quiet. So I thought we might be having technical problems or something. But luckily, it was just other dings, other people going live. Yeah, it's still pretty gnarly. I think I may not lose the thumbnail. I'm not sure. You see how the thumbnail beds kind of pull back from it? It's at least detached from the skin now, so it doesn't feel like it's pulling nonstop. So I don't know if it's just going to grow on out with the other one underneath it, or if I've lost the thumbnail bed too, or the nail bed itself. But yeah, I've never I've never slammed my thumb in a door before, and I hope I never do again. I wouldn't wish it on like my worst enemy. Is that was a real bad pain. Sorry. And now they jump in, right? Play weird. They asked a question earlier about maybe it'd be better if they said it again. But if weird, any thoughts and suggestions on revitalizing a scene or bringing Malifaux to a scene? I did that. Yeah, I did that. I actually stopped taking pictures after the first day because it got so gross looking and it damn near split. So I stopped taking pictures. Like, no one wants to see this. Mesmoony, if you want to pipe in there, because that was your question. Um, what I suggested was basically just being an ambassador, learning the game so that you can answer questions about it and being there every weekend, throwing down demos, or at very least setting up the table for people to come by and look at and ask, hey, what's this? Well, let me show you what it is. Let's play a game. Because that's what I did up here. And like I said, before life smacked me down, it was picking up. Okay, so we've got the spats done. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the black a little bit. Wow, is that blur on my end or is it on Twitch's end? Do I look clear to everybody else? Might be nice if I weren't getting water mixed into everything. Look fine on your end. Okay, good. Well, I guess it's just mine. Fantastic. That's okay, as long as it's not on y'all's end. Okay. This is a little bit of Eclipse Gray scale mixed with regular black. So it's about two black to one Eclipse Gray. Okay, so just kind of following the contours of these wrinkles here. Mm. Yeah, that's true, Llama. If you can get somebody in the store that works there interested, that's your best bet because they're going to be there more often than you can be there. And if they get into it, then they're going to be promoting it, even when you're not. So that's what happened with Infinity at Meeples. One of the store employees got into it and they just went crazy. Like everybody that walked through the door, hey, would you like to try a game? And they showed them Infinity and it caught on like wildfire. They can buy direct. They have to fill out, a form and have it go through weird and get approval and stuff. Yeah, I think they can buy direct. They don't have to go through the distributors, your typical distributors. I think there's a minimum buy-in, but I don't think it's much, or a minimum buy-in for shipping purposes. But I don't think it's a horrible big amount. Okay, so we're just continuing to work around with this very, very, very dark gray. Color his lapels here mostly. Part that sticks out is easy to get to. Okay. Painting in them shoulders here. Okay. And a couple of these little wrinkles down here are pretty intense, so we'll catch those. That is like a pebble in the paint. Hopefully it's not too deep. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, what the hell is on this blade? There we go. I think it was just an air bubble that had dried. Should be good. Okay now. All right. So now we'll go to just that straight Eclipse gray and start cutting in our wrinkles. Our more proper wrinkles, you know? And because I don't want to lose the fact that these are black, this will be basically the last highlight. I will do a little bit lighter, like on cuffs and very edges of clothing items, but I don't want to go to gray. I want this to be black. And it's one of those things that with black, like white, you know, it's kind of hard to do because you know you're wanting to be bright and you want to be white, but you know you can't go too white because then you don't have anything to go up to for highlights, and you get into areas where you can't photograph well either, you know, because you're so bright. So same thing with gray or black is you can get it to where it doesn't look like black anymore. It just looks like gray. And that's what we're trying to avoid here. I'll blend that in just a wee. Ooh, wow. Too much paint. That means okay, so we're getting a little bit of blending there. We had a little bit too thick a paint, and so it started to get some texture in there. I think I got most of it pulled out, so hopefully we won't have a problem there. Okay, getting there here. With this, we got get a few wrinkles up here on the shoulders taken care of. And that collar in particular. Okay. Just getting these lapels done here. Basically covering the whole thing. I kind of want them to be a little bit brighter. Okay, and we're going to kind of come around the sides here where these wrinkles are. Make sure we catch his elbow. All right, started to look pretty good. I think once we get the final little highlight here and there, he'll be good to go. Which is good because we're getting close to that time, you know. I was kind of wondering if I was actually going to finish a model on stream again because it's been a while since I've done that. You know, I did worked on Dreamer for 3 streams and it wasn't really finished. Got like bulk done, but not like finished. And then did Nexus Kids, didn't quite finish the 2 of the 3. So it'd be nice to get one done. So that does mean we're going to have to do some freestyle or freehand on the book if I want to quote finish on stream. I don't know. We may not. We'll see. Gonna get cooking dinner. All right. Have a great night, Mans Mooney. Thank you for hanging out and bringing your questions in, and hope to see you again next time. No. No. Did y'all see what happened? I got that drop of black on the vest. the vest that I have no matching color for. Fun. Let's figure out how we're going to fix that. I think, if I remember right, that vest is primer gray. Or at least the bulk of it is. So I can get my primer out and take a look at it. See if it'll work. Because it definitely doesn't quite look like my primer. But I don't remember painting it either, so it's either primer or something else entirely. And if it's something else entirely, that means somebody painted my model without my knowledge. Guess what? It's primer gray. That's cool. That works. I'm okay with it. Whew. Crisis averted. I almost kind of want to pull this color in, but I'm afraid it might be too purpley blue to go with the grays that are almost there, but I almost want to do it. Okay. Now, it's a little bit of London gray, mostly top edge wrinkles like on the cuffs and sleeves, and maybe kneecaps. I'm going to do a whole lot of this because this going to appear very bright. Good googly wiggly. We just paint it right over his sleeve. Cool. Cool. Very cool. A little touchy up. Okie dokie. Catch this okay. Catching that lapel edge there. Do you have to do the chain as well on his belt? That should his waist, but that shouldn't take too terribly long. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do the book. We just had to play that one by ear. We got 19 minutes. We might could do it. Might could. That came out way strong over on the sides. We're just going to kind of blend it down. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting kind of quiet. The details are coming in. As you know, got to hold your mouth just right to get them down. So apologies for that. I will try to keep it lively, but sometimes just hard to do when you're painting the little wrinkles. Hey, Stig, how are you doing? Don't scare me when I'm painting. What are you doing? You know better than that. Okay. All right. So almost done with the black here. And then we can jump to that little chain and maybe do some of the book. Mm-hmm. How are your crazy dogs? Stig? The wild one still doing okay? Okie dokie. Okay, there's got that. Now, get that chain. Where is... Yes. Oh, man, I need dwarven. There we go. Mm-mm. Don't need much more than that. It is a tiny chain after all. And of course, I did get it on the black. Gives reasons and stuff. So that's okay. We'll just have to touch that up a little bit. Oh boy, we are getting close to that time, aren't we? We may not finish that book after all. Well, poop-a-doodle. I thought we were going to finish this model up. But I think it's going to be close enough, yeah. close enough to done. Some little writing on the book ain't gonna make much difference between done and not. Kind of reminded myself I just screwed up by putting metallics on a natural hair brush. Normally, I don't care about that because I'm going through brushes so often it doesn't matter, but I have found that my favorite brush no longer makes good brushes, so I've been trying to find new ones, and until I do, I'm trying to take it easy with the metallics on the natural hairs. So, and then I go and slap that on there, but oh well. Needs a red bookmark, right? To match his tie. Oh, that's right. I did forget one of these fingers needs to be worked on, didn't it? When I'm going to touch the green on it. There we go. Unless you turn them all upside down, I don't think anybody would have noticed that anyways. But anyway, wanted to make sure we had it. Okay. I do want to do a little bit of a kind of wash down the spine of that book on the pages portion. All right. Kind of rinse that off there a little bit. Just wanted it kind of down in the here a little bit. And we go and slap more down in here. Catch the folds of the book this way. The pages this way. There we go. But on the edges, oops. Wow, where did I paint? My brush slipped. I don't know where it went. Hopefully it didn't mess anything up too bad. Doesn't look like it went on the brown. Doesn't look like it. There it is on the edge of this page. Cool. This is fine. This is all good. We'll highlight these up and it will be A-okay. We'll put some script on those pages and he'll be done. So yeah, got some kind of tea staining going on the pages, so it's a good thing. And yeah, maybe do some lighter highlights on there, and then we'll come in and do our writing on it in the book, and he will be done. But as for me and we are done. So we got the Spellbinder, or Spellbinder, the Archivist, pretty well done. The only thing we did not do is get the text done on his book, which I think was not bad, considering I'm handicapped. My little thumb's all handicapped. But yeah, anyways, we got him done today. That makes me feel pretty good. I will do the text later on this evening. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight and or today, and hope to see you next week. Is it Vierick next week? And then the following week, it will be me and it looks like Eleanor, I think. So hope to see you guys then. It'll be the same bat channel, same bat time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back on the 29th. Till then, stay safe and hobby on and be weird.